Hello. Hello. Let me cut this down because I've been listening to music. I sure wish I could listen to music here, but can't. So, oh well. Yeah, we're gonna give a few people a chance to hop on here with us. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about this thing. Hello. Yeah, gonna wait on a few more people to come in. And we're gonna talk about this thing, y'all, because this is a very strong topic. It really is. Especially, for someone that's in it, dealing with it, you know. Very uh yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so y'all come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Yes, if you haven't already, go ahead. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I am so glad that you all are here with me. Yeah. Yes. Uh you all know that uh I've been listening to music on here. Let me cut this down. Um that I always give my email address out, so that you all can email me if it's something specific that you would like to talk about. Okay? So, um, that situation kind of happened today, and uh, I never share who the individual is. Yeah, I never do that. Uh, yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so much. It's so much. Uh, People are going through, y'all. People are going through. And I know I've missed some of you all messages, but let me uh, try to go back. Okay. Yes. Oh. Okay. So, uh, Let's see how many minutes. We've been out here 5 minutes. Um yeah, so I'm trying to see um if the individual that let me see if I can uh share this to them. Um yeah, okay. I tell you, it's horrible to be in an abusive relationship with anybody or just any person. You know, it don't have to be a relationship. It does not have to be, y'all. Um, so yeah, so uh, hello. Okay, y'all. Let's get back. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. So, okay. First of all, hello to everybody that is on the live. I appreciate each and every one of you that's on here. But tonight we're going to be talking about a really serious situation, and hopefully we can get some good feedback and some good advice. And I would ask, everybody that's on here to, when you responding, to use wisdom, because the person that is looking for advice may be on here. Okay, so they reach out to me and asked me would I talk about this. So we're gonna talk about it. Okay, and this may be part one. There may be a part two. I don't know, but we finna get into it, y'all. So uh, the thing that we're gonna talk about, as you all see in the caption, is how to get out of an abusive situation. If you notice, I did not say relationship, because an abusive situation can be with anybody. It could be with a friend, it could be with your children, it could be with family members, it could be with anybody. So um we are open for suggestions on how to take steps on getting away from that type of situation. Yeah. So uh, I don't have all the answers. I really don't have none of the answers, because my way may not be the best way. So so yeah. Y'all get in them comments, and I really need y'all to communicate with me, and because we looking for advice. Like, this is really a serious situation, and people are crying out for help, because you're in a situation and you really don't know uh what to do. So if you all don't mind, get in there and talk to us in the comments. If you've been in this situation, if you know somebody that has been in this situation. And again, like I say, it doesn't have to be with a partner. It could be with a family member, kids, anybody, anybody, and you just need to get away, So what would you do, like, you know, as far as trying to put some money aside, or uh, you know, well, I mean, what would you do? Because, like, I know probably what I would do, but what I would do would probably not be suitable or right, you know. So we're open minded, first of all, and we know everybody have their own opinion about everything. I don't if I Yeah, yeah, going to a shelter would uh could definitely be a good start, because I actually have uh, a friend that has moved into a shelter here, and like, she have her own room and everything. Like, she buy her own food and cook, So shelters now, yeah, definitely try to save money. Shelters now is not like they used to be. Some of them are not like they used to be years ago. Especially like if you have children, or if you disabled. This particular friend of mine is disabled, and she has her own a big old nice room. Like, she got her wheelchair. I mean, she got a wheelchair in there, her walker, packing cases. Just, it's really her own personal space. And she doesn't have a certain time to be moved out of there, and they're going to assist her in finding housing. So that's a blessing. You know, that is really a blessing. So shelters is not like they used to be years ago, where, and wait a minute, let me clear that up. Now, you do have some shelters in some places that still have, you know 100 people in one room, just like sardines. In some cities and states, that is still going on. But here, from what I can see, it's not. And it's a blessing, even though you're in a shelter. But in that shelter, she's able to keep all of her money. She's able to keep all of her stamps. Yeah. Yes. 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 And that is her goal. You know. And this particular young lady, I have, prayed with her over, multiple times about this moving situation. And she stepped out on faith, because where she was at, they were study raising her rent. And, she like, I can't never get ahead, because, like, her income is the same. It's not like she's out here working and hustling, and no. This lady get her check once a month, you know. So she wants to be able to save and do things, So in there, she's able to save her money. She able to save it, save it all. And she has to buy whatever it is that she needs. She's responsible for that, because she do have an income. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. A lot of times God will bless us to get out of a situation. He'll bless us to get out of it, and then we'll turn around and we'll allow the enemy, because that's the enemy. Yeah, we allow the enemy to suck us right back in, and then we're in that same situation again. Sometimes you just have to treat people and things with a long handled spoon. And if they get upset with you and don't, understand, it's okay. Everybody is not going to understand what you got going on. First of all, they're not going to be happy for you. And if you tell somebody, see, sometimes you got to do things in silence. You got to do them in silence. You cannot let people know what you are doing. You just got to do it. You got to trust God. Take him with you and do what it is that you need to do. You cannot. Some things you just got to do it. You just got to step out on faith and trust God, because he ain't going nowhere. He gonna go right. He gonna be right there with you. Right there with you. And I feel like, it's a blessing for her to be able to, have her own room, locked door. The kitchen closed down at a certain time. But so what? You got time to get in there and cook and get yourself some, or you can make you a salad. These shelters, baby, ain't what they used to be. It just ain't. These shelters now give you more of a home uh feeling, from my understanding. Because to me, anytime you can go somewhere and have your own space, it's a blessing. And then on top of that, you don't have to pay them, because when you move out, they want to make sure that whatever your deposit and everything is, that you have your own money. Now, it's going to be shame on you if when the time comes for you to move and you don't have your money. That's what it's going to be. So, because it wouldn't be no reason, no excuse for you not to have the money that you need. And you staying somewhere rent free. You ain't got to buy no food, because you get food stamps. And then some of you have a benefit card. You take your benefit card, you can buy food, whatever you need with that benefit card. So, it's just, this particular person that I'm talking about, she gets stamps. She has her benefit card. And then she got her check. So, and now, you don't have no overhead. No overhead. All you got to do, you got a small storage. That's not even $100 a month. So, yeah, you just, you cannot beat it. You just can't. You can't. But the thing of it is you just got to, make sure that you don't, keep going backwards. Because that's easy to do. That's easy to do. And sometimes, you know, um, these kids can just, man, they'll talk you, baby. Kids will have you doing stuff that you don't even want to do. But you do it because you love them. But at the end of the day, these kids, they grown and they live their own life. They do whatever the hell they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it. So coming and disturbing what I got going on is a no-no. No, but I do understand that uh, sometimes they pull on you. And then that's it. Once they pull so much, they got you. They got you. Yeah, that's exactly right. They do whatever they want to do, and they don't. Baby, they don't be thinking about what you talking about. Cause see, whatever you saying ain't important. It ain't. It ain't important. Hey, love. Yes, we're talking about how to get out of a bad situation. Um, not whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, your kids, family, a friend, whoever it may be. Just how to get out that situation. So, uh, as Jay was saying, go to a shelter, which these shelters, I don't know about nowhere else, but here in St. Louis, it's different. Like you have your own private space. You know, I know in other places it's not like that. But you got your own space. You keep your money. You save your money because uh you know a friend of mine just recently went into a shelter. Actually, this month. It hasn't even been a month. It was the early part, the first of this month. So, and everything is going well. They sent me some pictures and everything of their room, and I mean, the room is huge. Like, it's huge. So, I mean, going to a shelter, I, I don't know how they are everywhere, but shelters now is not how they used to be back then, because shelters now have to be up to code. Like they can't have hot water running all over the place and rats and roaches and they can't have all of that because the city will come and shut them down. Like a shelter has to be livable. So uh but there's always going to be places that is not following the guidelines. So hopefully if they have to go to a shelter, hopefully they can find one that is nice and decent. Yeah. So excuse me, if you haven't already, go ahead on and like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified so that every time I upload a video, you'll be the first to know. And if you haven't already, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Yes. So, okay, back to the chat. So, yes, y'all. So, any type of information or anything that you all can share your opinions is what I'm looking for. Your opinions on this situation. Like escape, how to escape is basically what we are talking about, you know. And one thing that SJ also said was to try to save some money. And that is the key. Right. Yeah. Anytime that you're living somewhere and it's not good for you, it's a bad situation. It's a, you know, anytime that your bad days outweigh your good days, it's not a good fit, you know. Not a good fit at all, you know. Uh, but you know, I don't, like I say, I don't have all the answers, y'all, and I can't really say how I feel because this situation is very touching uh, for me, you know, because my thing is like run like hell and don't look back. Um, yeah, but you know, in some cases, you know, I think you can look back, but just look back with a long handled spoon. Don't You can look back, but just don't go back. You see what I'm saying? There is a difference, you know. Um, so yeah, um, I don't like this is a hard situation for me to speak on. Yeah, yeah, you have to definitely be strong. And if there is someone that, you know, you can stay with for a while, you know, I would say jump, 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 and get on in there, you know. And, you know, I know sometimes when you making those type of moves, I mean, it makes you nervous. It makes you scared. You know, all of that, like those emotions can come in, man, and they'll take over like a flood, you know. But honey, look, you got to talk. Sometimes you got to just talk yourself on through the situation because otherwise uh, you'll be trapped. And being trapped, baby, is not a good. It ain't a good space for nobody. It's not. It's not a good space for nobody. So I'm telling you, if you have the opportunity, the first chance you get, you know, get away. You know, and like I say, do things in silence. You can't let the left hand know what the right hand doing. And the very person you feel like, oh, I can tell them because I know they ain't gonna tell nobody. That's the wrong person to tell. They'll go right on, and they won't call themselves telling on you, but they have been told somebody that they feel like they can really, you know, trust and talk to. And then the next thing you know, it's done got back to where you don't want it to be. So I feel like the best thing to do, baby, to do it in silence. Do it in silence. You know, honey, I will, whatever I'm going to take with me, I will wash all my clothes up, wash my little throat, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And honey, yeah, honey, I will give me a duffel bag, you know, put my stuff in there that I need. Make sure I have my birth certificate, ID, social security card, stuff like that. Because you don't know what doors God gonna open for you. You know what I'm saying? He might buy you a plane ticket. If he get you a plane ticket, baby, you need that real ID. Because if you ain't got it, you're going to go through some mess. So, yeah. Make sure you got your proper, documentation, everything. You know, if you got to stay a little longer to get it, get it. You know what I'm saying? You done set that long, so you might as well set a little longer and get everything that you need. But that, I mean, yeah, I would say try to, make sure you have all of your personal stuff. And I feel like when you leave, make sure anything that you might want, that you take it with you. Because you got to remember in your mind, you never plan on going back to this place. Especially to live. And a lot of times when you exit and they don't know that you're exiting, anything that you leave, they're going to damage. They're going to tear it up, stomp it, hammer it, whatever. So it's not like they'll be like, oh, well, you left this. No. Instead, they'll be doing a video of how they destroying your merchandise and send you the video. That's how people are. That's how they are, y'all. So, yeah, just, try to use wisdom in everything you do. And, I would just, like I say, just do everything that you're going to do it in silence. In silence, y'all. Because you just, you don't never know. Sometimes when you moving out and you leaving people, they get vindictive, evil, all of that. They get terrible. And so you don't it could be their family. It could be their family. I don't know, but some family is not what it used to be, y'all. It's not. Family, you got to pick and choose. Some of your own family will tear you down, treat you way worse than somebody on the street. Somebody on the street will be just as sweet to you, kind, and try to cater to you. But honey, honey, yeah. But some of your family, I'm talking about not just family, people that you love. They will dog you to the max. They will dog you. They will misuse you. They'll scandalize your name. They'll lie on you. They'll throw you up under the bus every time. So, like, yeah. 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 So, I mean, baby. Yeah, I don't care who it is. Whether it's your family, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whether it's your children, your grandchildren, whoever it is. If you not being treated right, get the hell out of there. I'm telling you. And then, maybe once things settle down, you can go back and revisit. I said revisit. I didn't say go back and stay there. Don't do that. Yeah, run, I'm telling you, run like hell. But don't, no. Yeah, get out of that. If it's all possible, and if you have somebody that you feel like you can trust, if you got cash out, and maybe you can send them some money to hold for you, and then when you need it, they can send it back, But that depends on what your money situation is. Cause honey, everybody, they want money, 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 money. But y'all, I know this person was living with this person, and they was sleeping in their living room on a love seat. Y'all know a love seat is smaller than a couch. So they was sleeping on there, and they was giving them $400 a month. And when the person got their check, they sent them a text message and said that they needed five. They gonna need $500 if they gonna keep staying there. Now, yeah, that is true. That's true. I could not. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So, I happen to know the individual. I know both of them. So, I called. Because, I need to hear this for myself. Because I just can't believe it. It was true. It was true. But you said that you had a bedroom for this person to rent. Now, paying $400 a month, or not even five. If if everything is included and things are nice, and you ain't got to add nothing to the bills. You ain't buying this, that, and the third. That's a good deal. But when I give you $400 and I'm sleeping on a love seat, and I'm hanging off the, yes, it's totally wrong. But I'm giving you $400. I'm sleeping on a love seat in the living room where everybody running in and out. But you said you had a bedroom for me, which you do have a bedroom, but you wouldn't give it to me. It's just an empty room. So I don't I don't understand. Yeah. So I talked to him and I said, you need to get out of there. I don't care what you do, but you need to get out of there because you being mistreated. And they did. They got up out of there. Within the next couple of days, they was gone and didn't look back. But see, when people do you wrong like that, when they do that type of stuff, they ain't doing nothing but hanging themselves. Cause the word of God say you gonna reap what you sow. No, this a grown woman, fully grown, almost 40 years old. Yeah, and a grown. It was a man that was living with her, but not like boyfriend or girlfriend. Nothing like that. You know, the person just fell on hard times, and yeah, you have to make better. You do. Your choices. A lot of times, we will make choices and decisions, and we think about other people. We do. I'm guilty of it. I've been guilty of it. Um, but it comes a time when you have to strictly only think about you. You have to think about yourself. Yeah, you got to think about you and what you have going on, what you want, what you desire. Because otherwise, you'll be put on a back burner and people be living their lives going on, and you will still be back here wondering, shoulda, coulda, woulda. No. Mm-mm. I thank God for my place. Everything is not what I want, how I want it. But let me tell you. Yeah, nah, me either. I don't desire that at all. But it's, I thank God for my place. I I do. Like, and you have to learn how to thank God for what he has blessed you with, because truly it's somebody that would not mind trading places with you. No cap. I'm telling you. So I am grateful and I am thankful. And that's why I tell people, make your place where you'll be comfortable. Yes, make your place where you'll be comfortable. Because, see, when I shut the door out there, I'm in a whole nother zone. When I go outside that door, I'm in another zone. But once I come inside these four walls, I'm at peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my lane. And I tell people, make your place, if you can, as comfortable as you would desire it to be. And I had somebody tell me, excuse me, y'all, a couple of days ago, they was like, you just really love being at home. And do. Yeah. I like to go out and do what I'm going to do and get on back home. Yeah, I like being at home. I'm not one of them people that's like, oh man. Yeah, like, I am not. Yeah, I'm not one of them people that's like, oh man, I ain't been out in a week. I gotta go. Bye. Bye. It's certain things, if I did not have to, yes. If I didn't have to go and do, baby, I would be at home even more. But it's some things that I just got to go and do, because I ain't got nobody to do it for me. So, honey, I be glad to be at home. I do. And when I'm at home, I feel safe and comfortable. When you go to the doctor, I know they do here, so I guess they do it everywhere else too. But when you go to the doctor, they like, do you feel safe at home? Yeah, I feel safe at home, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be there. You know? But, yeah, they ask you that. Do you feel safe at home? Yeah, but, yeah, I just, I hate to see anybody going through, uh, you know, going through stuff like that. I just do because people, yeah, yeah. I put me some ice in my Ninja. Mm, mm, mm. So good. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Yeah, so, um, you know, I know sometimes it's hard. It's got to be hard to get out of an abusive situation because sometimes you've been in it for so long until, you've been in it for so long, and then sometimes people tear your confidence down, and they make you feel like ain't nobody gonna never want to deal with you, be with you. You know what I'm saying? That's how that people try to tear you down like that. And if you ain't careful, you'll listen to it. You'll start believing the lies that they feeding to you. You know, you'll start believing that mess. Honey, you got to tell them the devil is a lie. You shall live and not die. God desires for us to live a victorious life. He don't desire for us to be broke down and depressed and mistreated, misused, talked about, ridiculed. That is not God's plan and his purpose for our life. It is not. It is not. So I'm telling anybody that might be listening under the sounds of my voice, if you are in an abusive relationship, situation, circumstance, get out of it. Get out of it. I don't care who it's with, who it might be dealing with. Get out of it. I'm telling you, get out of it. And I know me saying it may be easier said than done, but I'm telling you, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. You can't just stay in it, keep waddling in it. Like you got to do something. And you got to do something to help yourself. Because, yeah, it is. Like you got to make up your mind. You got to know in your mind, in your heart, in your soul that you deserve better. You deserve, let me tell you, if we gonna deal with people, people need to be good to us as we are good to them. And if that is not how it is, you need to get out. Get out. Don't stay nowhere and allow nobody to just walk on you. That is not what you deserve. That is not what God put you on this earth for. It's just not. No, you have to get out. Get out. I'm talking about like run like hell. Get out. And don't look back. Don't look back. I'm telling you, do not. And if it's dealing with somebody that's like super close to you, it could be your parents, kids, or whatever, because even though you are grown adult, sometimes you could be 40 or 50 years old and your parents still living and baby, they still running your life. You know what I'm saying? They still got you da. And that ain't right. You have to live your own life. And then these kids, let me not even talk about these kids. These kids, they want a built-in babysitter. Yes, they want a built-in babysitter. They want you to take care of home while they rip and run the darn streets. What kind of life is that? All your kids, they grown and they doing their thing. But now you supposed to be here just babysitting, and you know what I'm saying? You got a life too. You might want you a man, a woman, a friend, whatever. You know, but then you can't even live your life because they living their life. What kind of mess is that? That's not right. That's not right. Yes, live your best life. Yes. Because man, that's what they doing. That is what they are doing. Y'all, let me tell you. Some of these kids, y'all, I listen to how they talk to their parents and their grandparents. But y'all know this the crazy part right here. When they come around me, they have the utmost respect. The utmost. But around their own parents, they'll cuss them out, disrespect them, tell them where to go. But then you'll come around somebody else and you'll give them the utmost respect. First and foremost, I'm not going to tolerate nobody child disrespecting me. Yeah, they do. They think that you are the babysitter. And don't get me wrong. Sometimes, you know, it's fun hanging out with them. But that ain't my job. No. It's, you know, them grandkids, they can be a lot of fun. You know. But to think that somebody want to babysit every day, keep your kids every day, all day, man, nah. Yeah, of course. You enjoy them. You know, but baby, no. These, and then the thing is, don't just leave your kids, because you don't know what I might do. You don't know what kind of plans I might have. Right. That's what I'm saying. You don't know. You don't know what kind of plans I might have. You still need to ask me. You need to communicate with me. You know, don't just assume, because 70% of the time I'm at home, that when you decide you want to come this way, I'm going to be here. You can't do that. Or if I'm even staying with you, you still can't do that. You can't, you know, I could see if it's early in the morning and you just run into the store or something. Okay, cool. But you done plan to go out and kick it, you know, on Saturday night, and now I'm getting ready to go out with my friends. And now you mad at me because you don't have a babysitter. Right. Exactly, because you choose to be. And that's my point. Right there. That is my point. You at home because you choose to be. Because you can be out there in them streets too. You know. It's all about the choices that are made. It's all about the choices. You know, it's a right and it's a wrong way to do anything, anything, you know. But honey, you know, y'all, my tolerance, my patience, you know, they're not the greatest for some things. Now, don't get me wrong. For some things, I have great patience for it because you know I'm that type of person. But for foolishness and things of that nature, baby, they y'all see that little crack that's about the real little. I don't have no patience for that. I do not. I do not. I don't have no patience for it. You know, and then I'm one of them people that, yeah, I don't have no patience for no nonsense. I just don't. I don't. If you trying to do something for yourself and better yourself, okay, let's do that. But in the midst of you doing that, you still need to respect me. You know, because at the end of the day, I don't need you. Now you need me because the kids, your kids is kids now. You see what I'm saying? So you the one need me. You need to act like it. You need to act like it. Yeah, you need to act like that I am the one that you need. You see what I'm saying? Instead of trying to act like I need you. That's not what it is. You know how they say now, this ain't that. No, this is not that. You know. So, y'all listen. If you in a situation, figure it out and get out. Get out. Like I say, if you got to go to a shelter, God will open the door for you. You just got to trust him. And if you got an income, you know, if you drawing your Social Security or your what is it called? SSI, whatever. If you drawing that, hey, you get a once a month check. You get your food stamps. These shelters, baby. Like I say, I have a friend here in Missouri. She just went to the shelter the early part of this month, the first of the month. Baby, she got there, got her own room, everything. Air conditioning, everything. You know, like the kitchen, she can cook whatever she want to cook. But at a certain time, everything cuts off. Yeah, it's not. And y'all, let me tell you. It's been about a month ago now that I was in the hospital, y'all. Let me tell you. They ran all kinds of tests on me. No, when I tell you all kind, every test that they took came back good. Every last one of them came back good. Every one. Thank God. Y'all, I was stressed and depressed, and I was just keeping it to myself. I was talking to my family on the regular, talking to my friends on the regular, but I wasn't sharing nothing. Me holding on, allowing myself to get deeper and deeper. It started taking my body over. You know, I started having dizzy spells, feeling like I'm gonna faint. Just crazy feelings. All because I was stressed and I was depressed. You know, some of my new people don't know, but I lost my husband like 2.5 years ago. And I'm still dealing with that. Like, I'm still grieving, y'all. And some days, baby, it hit me like somebody beating the hell out of me with a baseball bat. And sometimes I don't know what to do. So of course I pray. But sometimes, y'all, when it comes to certain things, praying just ain't enough. Like, you need to release the stress and the depression that you're going through to somebody. Y'all, when they took me, they told me they gonna admit me because they couldn't figure out what was going on with me. By the time they got me to my room, most of the dizziness was gone because I had released that. I was telling them, I said, I'm still going through, I lost my husband, been 2.5 years ago. And, I'm going through, and, I just share some other things with them. That, like, when you used to a partner, and not just any partner, but a good partner, it's and then all of a sudden now it's just you. So things that you're used to doing with somebody, it's like, it gets hard sometimes. It has gotten better, but the moment still come. So after I'm sharing all of this with them, they still running these tests, because even though I'm sharing, I'm still lightheaded, I'm still having headaches, and I was still dizzy. So they like, we're gonna have to do they did a EKG, CAT scan, I mean, just, y'all, look, all kind of stuff. So like I say, went through all of that stuff. Everything was good and wonderful. Excuse me. But I said all of that to say this: stress, stress will take you out of here. Take that from me. If you don't get nothing else from me tonight, get that. Get that. Stress will take you out of here, y'all, because stress will take over your body. Stress will have your body doing stuff it ain't never done. I'm telling you now, your stress will tear your body down. It'll tear it down. And I'm telling you, you'll fight like hell trying to get it back, when you can prevent all of that. Just get yourself out. So, y'all, I told my family, I say, you know what? When I'm going through, somebody just gonna have to listen. That's it. Gonna have to listen. Because, I'm sure they would rather hear me than not. So, because I told the doctor, I say, I've been sick. I say, I'm talking about low sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of here, where I done been out of here a couple of times. And I just felt like I had put my family through enough, even though it was not in my control. But I felt like I had put my family through enough. So when I would get in that stress place, I would just carry it and deal with it the best that I knew how to do. I wouldn't even talk about it to them. Nothing. They call me, how you doing? I'm good. That ain't the ticket. If you ain't good, say that. It's okay. It's okay not to be good every day. You know, in fact, ain't nobody good every day. You know, nobody. We would like to be, but nobody is good every day, y'all. So I'm telling you, don't let stress will kill you. It will literally take you up out of here. You know. So I don't have room for it in my life, and I do the best that I can not to be stressed. I do, because I know how it can attack your body. I know. I done been down that road several times, y'all, and it wasn't fun neither time. You know. So my ultimate goal, y'all, is to never go back down that road again. That stress road, that depressed road. Not saying I ain't gonna get aggravated or pissed off with some or somebody. That ain't what I'm saying. But y'all, if you stay in a situation too long, it'll suck you in there and start sucking you dry. You'll start having bad headaches, just feeling awful. You got to shake that mess off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Because it ain't of God. Shake it off. Get rid of it. I'm telling you. Y'all, I have got some amazing goals set for myself. And these ain't no fly-by-night goals. These are going to take some time. But if the Lord allow me, I'm going to get there. So I will suggest that everybody under the sound of my voice set you some goals. And if some people can't hold water, they just got to talk about it. They got to tell everything. You know, and if you one of them people, kudos to you. You know, but for me, I ain't. You know, I share with a couple of people, but then I'm through, y'all. I'm through, y'all. I'm not gonna be on here too much longer. But y'all, today I went couponing, y'all, at CVS. And do y'all know anything about these right here? I don't know what they taste like, but it said Greek style yogurt covered. So these are almonds, and they 150 calories for 7. So I felt like that was pretty good, because they not little. Can y'all see them real good? See, they not, you know. Have y'all ever had these before? Y'all, this was the last bag that they had. This was the last bag. So, I see it. Usually, y'all, when it's only one bag or something, it's usually pretty good. So, hold up. Y'all, my hands ain't real sturdy. But I'm trying to get it open. I'm gonna taste it. I done got it open that much. Then this much on this side, so I don't know, y'all. Okay. Alright, let's see. Let's see now. Okay. Let's get one. Let's smell them. They smell just like yogurt. Really do. So it look like a little egg or something. Y'all ever have these? Put in the comments. Mm-mm. These are good. The outside. Mm-hmm. Yeah. These are a hit. These good. I'm kind of, mmm. It kind of tastes like, um, mmm, strawberry. If you all like, if you like the granola in your yogurt, you would like that. Because that's what it tastes like. It tastes like yogurt with granola in it. No wonder it was the last bag. But back to the program. But I brought these in here because I wanted to taste them with y'all. Pretty good though. Would I buy them all the time? Nope. I don't like them that, but they pretty good. A good snack. But y'all, if you in a situation, please get out. Please get out. Because if you in it, then you're probably depressed. Probably depressed. And you probably have to put on a certain face when other people come around. You can't be who you are, you know. So, please, please, get out, y'all. And like I say, I know that it's easier said than done. But, if you can, as soon as possible, get out. If you got an income, when it comes, get you an Uber or a cab or something. Get online before it's check time and look you up some places. And if you a senior citizen, and they say 50 and over is senior citizen now, baby. So let me tell you, some places you have to be 55 to get your discount. I be trying to get mine. Some people, they don't like to share their age. I don't care. I thank God for seeing these 56 years. You hear me? I thank him over and over and over. Because so many people didn't make it. So, honey, I don't mind sharing my age at all with nobody. You want to know how old I am? Just ask. That's all. But, yeah, get out. Get out that situation. You got to know that you deserve better. Because people will tear you down. They really will. They will tear you all the way down. And you just don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to love on yourself. Love on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you deserve it. Don't you think you deserving of love? And I don't mean like you got to be in a relationship and all of that. Because y'all, listen. A relationship can be a headache. It can be. And it can be a bundle of joy. You know what I'm saying? If you with the right person, you know. If you with the right person, it's a beautiful thing. Like, I love married life. I miss it so much. So much, you know. But I told God, no matter how much I miss it, I will not settle. I ain't doing that. You know, I ain't settling, not at all. Because women, as well as men, you have to know your worth. You have to know it. And that's why I come. It's not just women out here that gets abused. Men do too. Because let me tell you, it's some women out here that is mean as hell. I'm talking about mean. You know what I'm saying? Mean, and they bitter because of what they went through with they daddy and they uncle, and you know what I'm saying? And they want a man, but then they want to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to act like a man. No, baby, I need the man to be the man. You hear me? Like, no, I'm going to stay in my lane, and I need him to be in his lane. We cool like that. You know, but so many women, you know, they just hardcore, you know, and because of what they have been through in the past. And some of them, you know, they done, you know, done been through these abusive men, and they put up with it, they took it, so now they abusive. So now when they meet a decent man, baby, they dog him out and everything else. So it's not just women getting misused. Men do too. Men get dogged out. They get misused. They get traumatized too. You know, it's just that women, you know, they'll just come out with it. Some of them will just come out and tell you this sapsucker done bust me upside the head and blah blah blah. And some men get their ass whooped too. They do. But they ain't gonna tell. Baby, they ain't gonna tell. They ain't gonna tell you they getting the shit beat out of them. You know, men ain't gonna tell that. But, honey, shoot. It happens. It happens, honey, because they, you know, they deal with them women, honey, that act like superheroes. But, yeah, y'all, it's, you know, laughter is good for the soul, but that stuff is real, you know. Like, we laughing about it, but it's real. You know, it really is. Like, men, they go through some of the same stuff women go through. And that's why I say, whether it's a man or a woman, if you in an abusive situation, stage left. Get out. Get out. And don't look back. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got kids there, save your money up, get you an attorney, and file for joint custody of your kids. Get out of there. File for joint custody. That way, you ain't got to pay no child support, and she ain't either. Because y'all splitting everything. Excuse me, but so many people, they cheap. They don't even want to get an attorney. So instead of them getting an attorney, you know, they just let the women rule, or vice versa. Some men will just take their kids, and the mother won't even fight for them, or vice versa, you know. But yeah, everybody different, y'all. Everybody has a story to tell, and everybody's story is different, you know. So this little curl right here, just I don't know what he want to do, y'all. But yeah, everybody's story different. Everybody got one to tell, you know. So you know, don't allow nobody to just when you realize, hey, this ain't right. This is not feeling good. Get out of there. Get out of there as quick as you can. Like for real. Yeah, get out of there because you gotta know that you deserve better. You deserve better. You know? Yeah, you gonna go through some stuff. We all go through some stuff. But do we have to stay in it? Is the thing. We go through stuff, but we come out of it too, y'all. We come out. You know what I'm saying? And when we come out on top. We don't come out on the bottom. We come out on top. Y'all. And the word of God say he'll make us the lenders and not the borrowers. Sometimes you may go in borrowing, but baby, when you come out, you a lender. You know, take the word of God, the scriptures, y'all, and work them scriptures. I'm telling you, apply those scriptures to your everyday life and watch how things move. But here's the thing: if you don't study the word of God, you cannot use them scriptures the way they need to be used. Whether you praying or whether you got a situation going on, it's the scripture in the Bible for it. I'm telling you, it's the scripture for anything you might be facing in your life. It's scriptures in the Bible. But you don't know how to use those scriptures if you don't study. The word of God says, study to show yourself approved unto God. Because see, once you study the word and you learn it, man can't just tell you anything. See, you got people that's going out here every weekend, they partying, throwing their butt up in there, penises, whatever. You know what I'm saying. They doing it all week long. And then when Sunday come, they rolling around on the floor. It's real. It's happening. That, I wonder, do they feel like God only see them on Sundays? That the rest of the week when they out here fornicating, committing adultery, and doing everything else under the sun, do they think he don't see it? Like, what? You think God only see you on Sunday when you come into church? That what you think? Baby, you in for a rude awakening. Rude awakening. God is a God, sit high, look low, and he know all things. He know it all. So, yeah, y'all, just, honey. Yeah, but back to the topic for a few more minutes. Yeah, it's a bad situation to be in when you're being mistreated, misused, disrespected, lied on, all of that. It's just a bad way to be. And if you're not careful, it'll just tear you down. It'll tear your motivation down, your self-esteem. It'll have you where you don't want to do anything but just stay there and wallow in the mess. But, you just gotta know that you deserve better. And then you got to put forth the effort to push yourself so that you can get better. Like, y'all, I often talk about me because I know me. I can tell my story. Um, I can remember, y'all, when I was getting ready to be discharged. I was up sitting in a chair that morning. I had got up, got in a chair. They brought my papers in there to me. I looked them over, signed them. When they came back in there to let me know, I was gone. I was knocked out. I woke back up. I was in ICU. I don't know how long. I don't know nothing. To this day, I still don't know. But God know, y'all. In that short of time, I lost all my strength. Yeah. It was they had to put um wedges up under me to keep me turned. They had to come and turn me every so often. Had to come and pull me up in the bed. Yeah. Mind you, when I went in the hospital, I was doing everything. So I'm saying that to say this. Get yourself together because we don't know. Nobody knows how much time they have on this earth. They don't know. We don't know. So you want to live your best, the best life that you can. And if you're being mistreated and misused, it's not your best life. It's not. And we know it's not. So, uh, yeah, so whatever help that you need, you can reach out. Um, you can email me or the email address is thingsdonemyway7 at gmail.com. You all feel free to email me if there is a topic that you would like to discuss here on my platform because we can most definitely uh, do it. And I'm going to get ready to get off of here. I appreciate each and every one of you coming on here and hanging out with me, spending quality time with me. Yeah, I appreciate it. And it means so much to me. Each and every one of you. I mean, like, I appreciate all of y'all. Even the ones that's in the bushes that don't come up and say nothing, it's okay. I still appreciate you subscribing and being here with me, y'all, because my ultimate goal is within the next couple of months to be monetized. I'm going to be, so y'all share my videos out on your channel, platforms, whatever. Share them out if you desire to, if you will. And yeah, so maybe, it can help somebody else, because this I know is a tough topic uh, to talk about. And, I just pray that it helped somebody on tonight. Yeah. So keep fighting. Do not, whatever you do, don't give up. As I said, you feel free to message me at Things Done My Way 7 at gmail.com. You can leave me a message. I will definitely read it, and I will message you back. Make sure so that you will know that I did read it. And, if it's something that I need to respond to, I will definitely do that. If it's something that you just want to talk to me about, or, you want me to discuss on a platform, we can do that too. So, yeah, so we can do that. So, y'all, I'm going to get ready and get off of here, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified so that whenever I go live or I upload a video that you will be the first to know, y'all. So I will soon be doing another giveaway. Yeah, I did one a couple of weeks ago. So I will be doing another one. Uh, I'm not gonna say when, but it'll be really soon. So I you have to have Cash App to participate. So if you don't have Cash App is really easy to get. It's a free app, and yeah. So if you can get Cash App, get it, and because that's the only way that I'll be able to, that you will be able to participate in the giveaway. And I would like for everyone to be a participant. Okay? So, yeah, I'm going to get ready to get off of here. You all have a good and blessed rest of your night, and I will see you all in the next one. God bless you. Good night.